Listen, you know what time it is. It's time for another episode of your favorite podcast entitled We Hate You, Internet! All right, now come on, gather around once again. We are in the place where creativity is assembled. It is the content creation factory here in Houston, Texas, and this is We Hate You Internet. It is a podcast designed to bring awareness of the problematic effects of the internet on our lives, as well as celebrate the beautiful simplicity of our humanity. Okay, I'm your host. I'm Wilfred Hamilton. Now, you may have already seen sitting next to me is not Clara Aguirre. You know what I'm saying? She's still out dealing with some life matters. She should be back soon, though. But like I said, we ain't in no rush. I miss her, though. I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, we want to take our time. I know she's gonna watch this, so take your time and handle your business. We'll hold down the fort until you get back, lady. But sitting next to me today, you know what I'm saying? I got quite the guest. This man is, or this young man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is a social media influencer. He creates content for his generation that I think is very powerful. It aligns a lot with the message we have on our podcast. You know what I mean? Just talking to people about how social media affects them. You know what I mean? Issues that affect the Gen Zs and things of that nature. You know, he reached out to us, matter of fact. He saw one of our ads and he reached out and said, hey, man, I'd like to come on the podcast and discuss some of these things. I do something similar. You know, and like I said, the people know, we're real particular about who we let on the show. You know what I'm saying? you gotta have a little something going and kind of, you know, be on the show. So you reached out to Claire and she sent the message to me, and I took a look at your stuff. And I was like, okay, man, this young man, I don't disrespect the man. Nah, man, I really like what he's putting together. He's putting together some quality stuff. And so I was pleased to have the man join us here. His name is
Coltonn.
Coltonn is in the building on
With
social
two
media.
N's.
Go ahead. What's that?
With two N's.
Now, make sure that's important detail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's two N's. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. Coltonn is in the building, and on social media he goes by God Coltonn because he's to be respected, I guess. Yeah. And so, like I said, man. So today for the topic we're gonna be discussing social media success, right? Because you got millions and millions of people, you know, every day uploading content on social media platforms, hoping and desiring to be seen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so it's like we're gonna kind of dive into that as far as like what it is that they're seeking. You know what I mean? Because my man Coltonn, you may not know, the youngsters may know this, man. He got over 300,000 followers on Instagram. You know what I mean? 75,000 on TikTok. He got some stuff going on. You know what I mean? And so he knows a little bit about success on social media. And so I wanted to kind of ask, you know, what is that like, that process, you know, growing and developing on social media that people are actually paying attention to?
So like starting out, like it's definitely like really hard because it's like, you know, people have the idea that like, you know, especially with all the short form, is like blowing up is like super easy. All this stuff, they post like 20 videos and none of them go viral, so they give up. So they think it's like rigged or something. It's like kind of like, or people would say like, oh, you have to sell your soul or something like that, but that's really not the case. Back in the like,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Back in the day, I definitely do think like getting an audience on social media was definitely a lot easier. But you know how everyone is trying to like they're hopping on. It's getting harder every single day, but that definitely allows for like new opportunities to come every single day. Mm-hmm. You know, there's always new platforms. There's always new things going on. Mm-hmm. They're adding bonus programs. And I think it's, in my opinion, it's better like that, you know, because, you know, back in the day, like, let's say like a couple years ago, no, like I'd say like 10, 20 years ago, like to be like famous, like that's like impossible. Like it's like hard. Like what would you do? You know what I mean? Because there was no like short form. There was no like organic reach. It's like you would have to know someone, have a connect and stuff like that. But I definitely think like the way it is now, it gives a chance for everyone to have a shot.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it wasn't like that, then I wouldn't be here right now, you know, on this podcast.
Straight up. So you saying your uncle not in the industry or nothing like that? You did
Yeah.
it through hard work, you know, sweat and perseverance. So okay, let me ask you a question. So like, you know, like I said, a lot of people desire to be in this position that you're in now. You know what I mean? Where you have organic, like real reach, real interaction. So in that process, like, is there a part of that aspect that like did you anticipate like, okay, this is what I thought it would be? You know what I mean? And then are there certain aspects of where you be like, I did not anticipate this. Like this is something I didn't expect.
I did not, because actually me getting into social media was like an accident.
Huh.
So I used to like consume a lot of social media, and I would watch like some, like this is back in end of 2020, I was about to tell you, and I would like follow some like inspiring creators, but it wouldn't even be like cinematography or anything. It'd just be like, you know, TikTok with text on the screen. And then like I just said, I can do this too. And I started posting, and the content, like it wasn't good. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I were to post the same content now, like it would not do anything. And like that started picking up traction. So it's like, I learned as I went through it. Like I kind of, like it's like an accident. I never had any intention of like, like doing this long term. I just, started something, and I started seeing like some results, and I just kept going.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like anticipate anything, because I didn't know like what I was getting into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's interesting. So now you told me, before that you've been doing this for 4 years. So it's not like you just started last week. You know what I'm saying? The perseverance part, you know what I mean? Like that process of like you seeing this thing start to grow and you kind of sticking with it. Like what is that process like? I mean, 'cause I think that's where a lot of people struggle. Where you say I didn't really have any I didn't have any expectations, which I think actually is really, really advantageous thing, because then you don't have any. It's the heartbreak that causes people to struggle. You know what I'm saying? But usually I'm just doing it because I just something I want to do, and then you stuck with it. So I think, matter of fact, that really hurts people's creativity and the flow of their creativity when they're trying so hard instead of it just letting it just kind of flow natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. There's like a lot of ups and downs. Like I've seen a lot. Like, sometimes you can get like a shadow ban. There's a lot of things that are like out of your control, and I think that's what really like kills the creativity. People
shadow ban. Explain that.
Yeah. So what a shadow ban is, it's like kind of like, for example, if you get like a strike on a platform, you don't get banned, but it's like they will not push out your videos. You know how, so basically to go viral on like these short form platforms, like the algorithms push out your videos to an audience, and if they like it, then they'll push it out to more of an audience and more and more and more. So it's like a testing phase. But when you're shadow banned, it doesn't push it out to like an audience. So only your followers can see it, and sometimes it won't even push it out to all of your followers. So it's like, it's very difficult. There's a lot of things that are like, and that's my interpretation of a shadow ban.
Gotcha.
It's like there's no actual like real definition, because it's like, it's kind of the unknown, the algorithms and stuff like that. Like only the people that like work at these platforms could really say.
Gotcha. So we'll move forward a little bit. Like, so with the level of success that you've been able to garner, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like an increase of pressure trying to come up with new content? Is there a pressure trying to like, with all these, how many comments and DMs do you get?
I get like a lot, but I'm at a point where it's like, I'm not really like focused on that.
Yeah.
Like I don't read my comments really. I try to respond on like the good comments, but like there's also a lot of hate, especially when you start out. Like people would always say like, these videos are corny or whatever, but like that never like really like fazed me at all, because like growing up I've been through like a lot of bullying and stuff like that, so I feel like that's just conditioned me to like I can take hate pretty well. Like I just ignore it.
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna ask you about that. Some kind of like your upbringing. Does that inspire some of your content? You know what I mean? 'Cause I know I've watched a couple of videos. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was really good. I figured like some of the things that maybe you've experienced personally, which most of the time is the case. You know what I mean? Like it inspires some of your creativity and things you've put together.
Yeah, I'd say like 95% of my videos, it's like personal. Like it's like all like things I've experienced, and I think that's what allows me to like really like be super, because I can like grab the way I feel and make sure to like. So my goals when I make these type of videos is to make sure the audience not only sees and understands what's going on, but they feel the emotions. You know, like relatable. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For example, like when I used to get bullied, I can really like show that in videos, not just like physically me getting bullied, but it's more like how am I feeling, what's going through my mind, like, you know, these things. That's how I like to implement like these elements so the audience can really relate.
Mm-hmm. How do you? So when did you start getting? When did you get involved with like cinematography? Like,
So
because your stuff is like I said, your stuff is really really good. Like the quality of it is really good.
yeah, and it was not always like that. Like I was saying, like I wish
it wasn't always like that, sir.
like I wish I could, because like my first TikTok, like I had a first TikTok account, it had like 900,000, but it got banned like this August.
Yeah.
The one you see now is a new one.
Oh wow.
But like when I first started, it was just videos on my phone. I put text on the screen. Like it's just like, you know, sometimes I'd just be standing in front of the camera, just a lot of text on the screen, stuff like that. Like just messing around. But over time, like, and those videos did work at the time. Like, you know, they would go viral and stuff. They get followers. But like it was more of like a gradual thing. I think it's like I don't think it's possible to just, it is possible, but like I don't like saying nothing's possible, but it's like I don't think it's like that likely for someone to just start making content and have it be perfect, because a lot of people, they have that expectation. They're like, oh, it has to be perfect, it has to be perfect, it has to be perfect. But I was more on the volume side. Like when I first started, and this is when I started gaining followers, so it'd be like I remember this was like 2021, and it was like, I remember this is a funny story because, like, you know, like I had an ex at the time, and then she was like mocking me, and I was heartbroken. So I had nothing really to do, right? So I started posting TikToks 5 times a day, like literally 5 times a day. That's all I did, and it was like these like crappy videos or whatever. At the end of the day, like I was just trying to like, you know, change the world. I was mad at like with my circumstances, and I was just trying to like change the world, right? Yeah. And then like over time, that really built. Like that's how I got better faster, because I post literally like so much
Reps.
Yeah. So with the content I do now, like me posting 5 times a day, like that's like really like unlikely, because it's like, you know, it takes a lot of production and all that stuff. But back in the day, I think what made me get to that level is like the amount of volume I used to do, because like, you know, I think the more volume you do, you could see what works, what doesn't work faster. You have more data to play with, and you know, you could really experiment with trends and stuff like that.
You know, like I said, that's one of the things we always talk about on the show, just about getting in the reps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like dispelling delusion. That's one of the things we really focus on our platform. You know what I mean? And I'm really happy to have you here and talk about this subject, because everybody wants to go viral. You know what I mean? Like you got several, you know, videos that have, you know, multiple millions views. So like you not no stranger to this. You know what I mean? And so like, so the question, I would love to ask the question, like, when you have that first, you know, video that has over 1 million views, and you have all these like thousands of comments and all this kind of stuff, like people have this illusion that like your life, like you're famous now, like you're like, that, you know what I mean? And I'd be really curious to get your perspective on that. Like, once it happened, like your life don't change, like you still the same person, but then people start treating you differently. Yes, you think?
Oh yeah. So like how it works. So for example, like my first like viral video, it was like what I thought was viral. It was 18,000 views, and it was a video.
Mama made it.
Yeah, it was like a video of like my friends wrestling each other. I wasn't even it, but I think there's 2 sides to it, because, you know, some people, they get that and they'll think like, oh, like, you know what I mean? And I think it's more of how you take it, because I think that, like, for example, like someone posting, like if they post a lot, them getting that first viral video, I think that can really give them the momentum to like actually change their life through consistency and stuff like that. So I think there's like benefits, which is why I say like I love how like the short form like era we're in right now, because it's like it gives so many opportunities to people. So it's like, yeah, a lot of people, like it just depends on the brand, because I think there's a difference between like a creator and an influencer.
Okay.
Like an influencer, they could actually like, it's not even about what they make. Like them themselves
Gotcha.
could actually like move people.
Gotcha.
And I think I'm in the middle of like transitioning to that. Like it's like I don't like have to. I'm still making content stuff like that, but like the goal is to like yes make content whatever, but it's more about like who you are that could really impact people, not what you make.
Like Corey Kenshin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's because I think when you transform to that's when it's life changing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you definitely have to start out, because with the way like the algorithms, like you start out as a creator, but like I think my goal is to transition completely to an influencer where I don't have to like post a lot of videos every single time to like but I do love it, and it's part of the process. Like there's like steps.
Indeed.
Like you have to take gradual steps.
I love hearing you talk, because the one thing that I'm getting from you, number one, you're a bright young man, you know what I'm saying, and you're thoughtful. You know what I mean? A lot of times, and now we can start getting into another part of our conversation. A lot of times, people on social media, they're on it for emotional reasons. Mm-hmm. They're not really on it for like, they're not thinking about it from like a practical perspective, or like they have a goal they're trying to accomplish, a process that they're trying to undergo. It's more or less just seeking attention. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. And so whenever they post something and it goes nowhere, like they internalize it, and it becomes this obsession. You know what I'm saying? It becomes unhealthy, an unhealthy obsession. You know what I mean? And like the difference I'm hearing with you though is that like there's a thought process behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's a much more healthier approach if you're going to approach it from a business perspective or whatever. Like there should be some type of goal in mind instead of just becoming a prisoner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, in a sense.
To social media. And when I go back to a lot of your content, that's kind of one of the things that I noticed is, like I said, your ability to convey that message to people that, growing up in a world where all you know is social media. You know what I mean? I'm 41. And so, like, I grew up before the internet was a big thing, right? I was like 12 when the internet really started like coming out.
That's crazy. Like, so how is that like seeing
exactly
like and
yeah, no. I mean, it's interesting because like you go outside with your friends, y'all kick it, y'all go places, and world moved a whole lot slower. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like with everything now is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like so everything is like, but like then you had time to kind of like enjoy someone's company. That was regular. You know what I'm saying? Like you go outside, y'all play. You know what I mean? Like you watch movies, like you go to the movie, you go to the mall, like that's regular. I think, you know what I mean? And that's one of the things we on our platform, we talk about #stay human, you know what I mean? And those things, like the technology and everything that we have is speeding us up to an unhealthy pace, you know what I mean? Like, because the world isn't meant to move this fast. You don't have time to kind of process how you feel about stuff. Like everything is just 100 miles an hour, everything. And like human beings aren't designed to function that way. You know what I mean? And so, technology is good. It's advantageous. You know what I mean? Like it brings a lot of benefits to our lives. But like I said, if you're not careful, and it's really hard for people like around, around y'all age range, because this is all y'all. This is all you know. Like this is the life that you know. You know what I mean? And so like, I have, my son, he's gonna be 21 in May, and then I got 3 others behind him. And I see them on their phones, and I don't really bother them too much because I get it. Like everybody be on social media and stuff like that, but like, I try to give them a certain amount of balance to take a step off, unplug, and kind of like breathe and exist in like real space.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because like, because social media is like Alice in Wonderland. You ever saw the movie?
I think I've seen the movie, but it's probably a long time ago. I definitely heard the phrase.
Indeed, you know what I'm saying? So, late girl fall asleep under a tree, fall down a hole, you know what I'm saying? Then she wake up in some type of dreamland where it's almost like an LSD trip. My daughter and my wife love the movie. I'm not a big fan. You know what I'm saying? It's a classic Disney movie though. And so like it's just talking cats and rabbits, and it's like an acid trip. But that's how like social media it blurs the lines of like illusion and reality. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's cool if it's just entertainment, but then like it becomes a situation where like you look at this stuff and you consume it so much that it becomes real. You posted a video. I showed it to my wife. I thought I was like I said I really like this stuff. I was really pleased. I showed it to the rest of my children. You know what I mean? I was like, man, some good stuff. You know, you talked about how it affects your relationships. It was one of your,
Social media. Oh yeah.
one of your clips, and you just talked about how the expectations change as you instead of you just being able to be happy with this person, you start comparing, and you start seeing clips of people getting given that I want to give. You start seeing people going on trip now. Hey, how you don't take me anywhere? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it robs you from being able to be content. And that's a really sad thing, you know what I'm saying? Because in reality, like human beings don't need a lot to be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get some food in your belly, keep a roof over your head so you don't get wet. You know, some clothes on your body, and like some companionship, and like for the most part, people can be happy with that. But when your expectations grow so high, like then you can't be happy. You're always comparing yourself to other people and what they have and what you don't. You focus more on what you don't have than what you do. Then like you can't be happy. And then you have all the mental health stuff, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a tough deal. You know what I'm saying? I want to touch on relationships. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in this era, and I want to go two part with this.
Okay.
I mean, because like we'll touch on the romantic side, but I really want to just talk about family or just like relationships. Period. You know what I mean? Like, do you find it difficult to like define your relationships with people, and especially with you being like, you know, you being people feel like they know you on social media, but like they don't really know you in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then people, have you had it where people start trying to kind of like be nicer to you now and trying to kind of like be like, oh, cool with you now because you know you got some steam on social media and stuff like that?
Yeah, it goes both ways. Like it's just, I think definitely a lot of people they try to be like more chill, more open, but it's definitely with some like alter motive. You know, trying to get something out of it. You know, and I think I'm really good at sensing that. And the moment you could tell, because the moment that they realize they're not, they switch up like that.
Yeah.
Like literally. And finding, I think in any industry, like as you become more successful or even when you're on the path, like finding like authentic real people is hard. It's definitely probably like I come across a lot of fake people all the time, even in the industry, like people that are bigger. It's just I think that's just how the world works. But definitely a lot of people, they'll like treat you a certain way. You know, I watched this video, you know Keith Lee, right? So like I'm gonna go like just a little briefly over this. Like it's like kind of like, so some restaurants they'd be like closed, but the moment he's in town, like any type of service, like up to him. And it's like he that's why I think why he's so famous, because he's like authentic. He exposes that. So definitely when you have like, when people think that they could, because it's not just that, oh, he's famous. It's more like they, in the back of their mind, oh, he comes to my restaurant, gives me a good review, the business. It's more about what they can take out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not, I don't think they necessarily care about someone like having this influence or whatever, but it's more like they care once they see they can get something out of it.
You know, like I said, you know, people, it's the same way with celebrity or any kind of accomplishment. People, you know, people from the outside looking in, they're like, man, I want that attention. I want to like be able for people to know me and see me and blah 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 blah. But then like what people don't understand, man, is like you become an object. The word's objectified. Yeah. Objectified just means to be viewed as an object. You know what I'm saying? You no longer are a human being. Yeah. Now, and the bigger you are, the worse that it gets. You know what I'm saying? When people stop treating you as a human being and they start treating you like a thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's really sad. You know what I mean? Because people that you love, they switch up on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like you said, it's really hard to find authentic people. But even in this time, in general. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with social media and stuff like that. Like you say you don't really do a whole lot of commenting and like people send you direct messages all the time. And stuff?
Yeah, no, I try my best to get back to like the positive comments and stuff like that because it definitely does help the algorithm. But it's like because I post so much, so it's just more like it's a lot of work on my end, on the back end stuff like editing, planning, filming, doing these shoots. I have to pay people, all that stuff. So it's like I like back in the day I used to respond to a lot of comments, and when I have time I can, and some DMs. Like I get to, but it's like a lot because it's like gets flooded and stuff like that.
So how many DMs do you get like a day? Like,
say like 300.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
And so every time you open up Instagram, it's like,
it just I can't see exact, but it's like this is like 99 plus.
Yeah.
And it also really depends, like because if I have like a crazy viral video, like like that can go to like 2,000 DMs.
Wow.
One day. Like it's like it just depends, like you know what I mean? Yeah. So and also with my business, like I utilize like DM CTAs so that like it drives up like the DMs because if I'm trying to like sell something or whatever, like help people out.
Like I said, man, I'm laughing because we talked about social media success, and like what most people think success is, and as I'm hearing you talk, it's like it's way deeper. Of course, it's business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's not just picking up your camera and talking. Like it is a system that has to be created. You know what I'm saying? To put this stuff together. You say, so do you get paid off of your videos? You monetize?
Yeah. So I sell a product now, like which is a community. I help people like quit porn, and also TikTok. Like how I said the opportunities. They just released like a program like a couple months ago, and I've been on that, and they pay like. It's not like so back in the day, TikTok used to have a program, but it was like chump change. Like you'd get like a couple cents for 1,000 views, but now it's like 1,000 views you get like, and the RPM can be like $1.50. So like if you get like 1 million views, but the video has to be over a minute long, which is so it makes it harder, but like it still works. So I have like a couple minute videos and like I can just post it, and like I think. Like one video, it got me like $1,000, like and that's just like off like a repost. It's not even like I had to film it. It's like what I mean. Yeah. So TikTok, I'm really taking advantage of that, but more on the business side because like those opportunities with like the getting played. Because my mom told me this, like the platforms you could always get banned. So the best thing is to have like a business attached to your brand because no one can take that away from you. Like, I've gotten banned. Like I had 900,000 followers gone. I can't do anything about it, but that's just like the game of like social media. And it's like, I say it's like the equivalent of like, you get fired from a job, because a lot of things like are out of your control. But I think if anyone's looking to like make money in social media, definitely off like a business instead of like the platforms, because the platforms, they'll pay good, but it's like things could happen. The RPMs can go up and down. It's like, it's a lot of things out of your control. Man,
you mentioned pornography, and I know that's something that you really focus on your social media. You know what I'm saying? I go into the comment section and like and so this is a deduction. I have here to talk to you about it. So, but like I see people like, is he gonna stroke? So I deduced from the comments that did you used to make content where that was like kind of like the end of the joke, like a joke that you were making at the time or something like that?
No. So like, I think what happened.
Yo, man, these boys here.
What happened is like, 'cause I post a lot of no-fap videos and then they go viral. So I think like people in the comments started catching on. It's like, bro, like they say like, bro strokes his shit like every video.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Like, no, the comments are crazy. It's funny. I love those comments, to be honest, because it's like it's like kind of crazy how something could like a meme, like literally like a meme can come out of like nowhere, like air. And it's like, I think it's just because of like, I do a lot of like clips where it's like, I like act like I'm like, like watching porn or whatever. And then it's like, I think people will really find it funny, so.
I think they can relate.
Yeah.
but like you're really like against pornography, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So like what developed or what how did you develop that, that their feelings toward that.
Well, so like growing up, like I was like really like my upbringing, I got really addicted to it. It definitely did a lot of bad things to my life. Helped, like ruined relationships, ruined my confidence. Like I had no respect for myself. Like constantly getting bullied, like depressed. And I was addicted to a lot of stuff. And like for me, porn was like the holy grail of it. Like once I cut that out, like everything really started changing. Cause it's like people don't understand like how strong of a drug that is. Cause it's like so normal. Like it's like, like I was watching an interview from like the ex-owner of like there's a company, MindGeek, and they own all the porn sites. And they were like releasing data, literally like porn, like Pornhub and X videos is the most searched site on the internet. That's not a search engine. That is not like a search engine
It's
like
not
Google.
but yeah,
Yeah, but
I
like,
saw that before.
that is like the most. So and they get like 90 billion visitors like a month or something. So that's like practically everyone. Like everyone watches it, and it's like people don't understand how like it could really ruin your life.
Break it down.
So for example, actually my addiction almost made me go to jail.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
You mind sharing?
Yeah, of course.
Run that.
So
okay.
like I was in middle school, and like I was like I'd play Fortnite, watch porn. I'd die on purpose on Fortnite so I can go do it and then come back. And then there was like this thing trending on Snapchat. It's like a different form of porn, but it's like Snapchat nudes, right? That was like something that was trending. And like it would go around in my school, and I would collect like a bunch of nude photos of like girls in my class. They don't even know me. And like none of them were sent to me. But like I would collect them from friends and stuff like that, and I would trade them, and I'd watch porn. And at one point I was like I was trying to blackmail someone or something. Like that's how addicted I was. I was crazy.
Locked in.
I was crazy.
Man,
I was crazy. And
golly.
like one day I'm in class, and my principal comes in my room, and she just does this. Like, where's your phone? I'm like, what's going on? And I just gave her my phone. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But in the back of my mind, I kind of know. And then they call me in later. They searched my phone. They found I had like so much like stuff and yeah, I got suspended. I think I was about to get expelled, but I got suspended for a couple days. Like my reputation or whatever at school was like ruined or whatever. I didn't really care about that, but like I thought I was like, because the principal told me like the police are gonna get involved, all that stuff. They were calling my mom, other like girls involved, like they were like getting in trouble too. And I thought like, yeah, my life's over. Like I think that was like one of the lowest points. I was like, damn. Like I was like, damn, I didn't know it got so low. But even after that, like, because like I said, like it's such a strong of a drug. I didn't quit. Like after that, it's a process, you know.
Yeah.
But that really set the awareness. Like, yo, like this is like it's like kind of it's actually like affecting my life in a bad way.
Yeah.
Not just like the confidence, but like I'm getting in trouble. And I think a lot of people don't know that, because if you think of like people who go to jail for like child porn or like sexual assault, like let's say sexual assault, right? Like if someone's gonna like sexually assault someone, like they most likely watch porn. It makes sense because it's like, you know, hypersexual, and I think it can lead to, how I break it down, it can lead to like two ways. For me, I was like hypersexual, right? But I think it can make you, for example, if you're like lonely, depressed or whatever, like people, they go to porn to distract themselves over that. But then after, they feel like the emotions, even like at a 10 times scale, they feel more lonely, more depressed. And it's like, it's just like a downward spiral. And like, it definitely leads to like a lot of like suicides and all this stuff. And it's like, people don't understand that, because especially with like young men, because, you know, young men are like leading like the suicide rates. Yeah. And I definitely think porn is a big factor into that, because it just like, it's like something people kind of like try to rely on, but it's not real.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I said, I was around before social media, like before internet became a big thing, but I remember that, you know what I'm saying? Like when we first started surfing the web, and then cats had all these little, your back websites and all this kind of stuff. You see
Yeah.
just crazy stuff. You know, it used to be you have to have an actual videotape. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. No, but you know, so you had to go out there like, you know what I'm saying, like in the back alleys, you know what I'm saying, not
Like
literally.
magazines.
But,
Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying, like trading off, you know what I'm saying, the back of the school type stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Secret handoffs and stuff like that. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, but with the internet, it's just, it opened up, like when you can just at any time, at any point, and then you have it on your phone, like,
Oh yeah. Like
it's, and like the reality is that like, you know, sex is such a powerful thing, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's, and the way that pornography portrays it is just, it like you said, you use the word correctly, addiction, drug.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people think about substances you shoot into your body and stuff like that, but like, what it does to your mind, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's a major problem. I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think that you address the issue with your content very well. You know, I think there's a lot of people, and I feel sorry for like, you know, young men, and like I said, there's a lot of girls are watching pornography too.
Yeah.
Like, let's not get it twisted.
25% of people watch porn are female.
Yeah, man. And so like, I really feel sorry. I don't know how I want to say this. I feel bad for this generation in that aspect, because like you can try to avoid pornography if you want to, but like it's almost impossible.
Yeah, practically.
You know what I'm saying? Because like somebody can just send you a message and you don't know, and you open it up and then boom. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be scrolling in a comment section or something and then like bang. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't like it's gonna find you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and so, and like I said, what it does to your mind as far as when you see this stuff and the chemical soup that it causes in your body is like, it's, it can manifest itself in a lot of different ways that can be really hurtful and destructive. You mentioned to me, you said that you were putting something together to try to like make available for people?
Yeah, we already have a community where I help like my followers quit porn. But I'm working on like a lot of free products, you know, because for people who are not willing to like, who are not able to invest, because I want to help everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and so yeah, that's gonna come out like today.